This video is sponsored by OmniSend.
Hi guys! So it's been like an entire year since I sat down in this spot and pressed record on this camera. Everything you've been seeing up until now has been pre-filmed over a year ago because I've been dying. I've been wheeling around in a wheelchair sometimes. We have a lot to catch up on. It has been about 3 years since I started my business Mei, and it's been an incredible journey so far running my first business. This studio vlog is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to talk about all of the things that I've learned so far, all of the mistakes that I've gone through, which almost cost me my entire business and I almost had to shut down. So we're going to talk about manufacturers, we're going to talk about sourcing, we're going to talk about getting scammed. If my horrible experiences can save even one person from making the same mistakes that I did, then I have achieved my goal. And if you guys were thinking, wow, Mei, your jewelry is so diva today, I am actually going to be launching this specific piece that I'm wearing today. It's called the Treasure Trove Necklace. It's going to be launching the day of this video going live. Also, all of my bracelets, always from Mei, always repping my own brand, because if you're not gonna love your own brand, who is? So with that out of the way, let's get started with the suffering. So I started my brand 3 years ago, and it was around COVID that everybody was going a little bit crazy because we were locked up, and I started making little friendship bracelets, and this is the video that started it all. I made 50 of them for all of my friends around the world, and I sent them out in care packages just as a way to connect with my friends. And my friends were so sweet. They encouraged me a lot, and they said, you know, Mei, your designs are really cute. You should try to design other pieces. And at that point, I was like, no one's gonna want to buy this shit. And I didn't have a website, I didn't have anything, and I said, if you guys want to buy a bracelet handmade by me, just send me a DM or send me an email and I'll sell one to you. And all of a sudden I was getting inundated by so many orders, which I'm so thankful for, obviously, but it got to a point where I was like, oh shit, I thought maybe 3 people were going to ask to buy something. No. And I was like, oh shit, I think I need to pay taxes, and I think I need to register as a business. I started my business with my own earnings that I saved up over 10 years of content creation. There was and is nobody backing my company. It's literally all just me. I know somebody out there is always saying, oh, daddy's money, family's money. No! At the same time that my business was growing way faster than I could handle, I was also learning how to start a business. So everything kind of happened backwards, if it makes sense. Had I known that this was going to grow into such a big thing, I would have, gone into it with the paperwork, the right expectations. That would be my first piece of advice. Looking back at it, I think that was sort of the first mistake that I made. I wouldn't call it a mistake because I genuinely did not go into this thinking that I would grow it into a business. Because I was hand making all of my products, I didn't have a manufacturer making anything. And so what I didn't account for at the time was me. I was the single most important thing about running my business because I was the powerhouse behind everything. If I went down and if I wasn't operating at 120% 7 days a week, everything would just stop and grind to a halt. And spoiler alert, that is exactly what happened. We're not going to get there yet. At this point, now that I'm turning into an actual jewelry brand and not just handmade goods at home, and my goal is to source things locally and to have high quality lasting pieces. My designs, as you can see, are extremely whimsical, but I feel like a lot of the times in the market, people are using shit materials out here because they don't expect that you're going to wear something so fantastical for multiple years. And I felt like there was a gap in the market, and that's exactly what I wanted to fill. The first year of my business, we were just skyrocketing, and we were making a lot of money. And this is where tragedy strikes. So I'm selling something called fashion jewelry, and that's when you're going to be looking at products with plated gold or filled gold. And by law, okay, by law, filled gold needs to have at least 5% of gold in the overall mixture. And a lot of the times it's going to be mixed with harder metals to make it more durable because gold is really soft. I went with a supplier that I found myself, and they were very popular, okay? And on their website, they're listing their materials as filled gold. And as a buyer, I thought that I had protection by law because it is literally illegal to mislead people, okay? Especially if you are a supplier for tons of businesses in America. Like, I was like, okay, like this is the information that they're selling me. Like, I felt like it wasn't a scam. It was a scam. There are specific properties of filled gold, and it's supposed to be really long lasting, and you're supposed to be able to do all of these things with it, which makes it a more affordable version of fine jewelry. Based off my information from my suppliers, I had been selling my pieces as gold filled because I was being lied to. I spent thousands on stock from this specific supplier who was scamming me the entire time. And they're still in business to this day. I could literally drive to their store and they're busy all the time. So they're just out here scamming people. That's why there's so much misinformation about jewelry, because like it's rampant. It's rampant, like straight to the source. The only reason that I found out that I was being lied to this entire time was when I started getting emails from my customers. And people were saying that their gold-filled jewelry was starting to discolor within like a couple weeks of buying them. And I was like, uh-oh, something is very wrong here. I had been testing all of my pieces by myself at this point, and I am a very meticulous person when it comes to taking care of my jewelry, so I had no issues with my jewelry. But then I started sending out samples to my friends around the world. Put this on your body, do whatever you want, like shower, go on a run, all the things you're not supposed to do to prolong the life of your jewelry, do it, and tell me what happens. And we quickly found out together that, yes, my supplier was scamming me and lying to me this entire time, and they really did not give a shit, okay? I spent 5 figures on stock and materials, and I realized all of it is no good. That really broke my heart, to be honest, because I don't know, I'm just trying to do my best out here. Like, I'm not trying to lie to my customers, you know? Anytime somebody messaged me, like, I would do my best to either give them a refund or replace their piece. It was a huge nightmare, and to this day, I still feel so extremely guilty about it. I took a long time to recover from this mistake and to be able to offer a resolution to people so that I feel like I did not perpetuate the scam. Before I tell you how I resolved this issue, I'm gonna tell you guys something that is not a scam, and that is the sponsor of this video, Omnisend. I'm gonna preface with, prior to them being a sponsor, I used their email marketing service by myself with my marketing coordinator for 2 years. And together we built over 15 email campaigns. I'm going to show you guys how I built this super easy email campaign to push the launch of my newest piece, the Treasure Trove necklace. They have literally 1,000 templates for you to choose from, so you can customize entirely exactly what you need. The drag and drop feature is super easy, so I literally just have to replace their images with my own and add in my own text. With a few clicks, literally that's it. So you end up saving time, you end up saving money, and you can focus on things like actually running your business. And if you're a small business owner like me, and you've been looking to switch from your current email marketing service, they have this amazing feature called Easy Migration that literally does it all for you. So you don't have to stress about switching over your entire mailing list. And the best part is that you can literally start for free. But if you want to try their paid plan, you can check out the link below to get 30% off using my special link. Now we're going to talk about how I dug myself out of this horrible mess. So I cried really hard for about a week thinking that I was going to have to shut down my business and that it's over. I didn't know what to do. The problem seemed insurmountable at the time, and as a small business owner, my love and my heart is so deeply intertwined with the things that I make because I am literally hand making this by myself in my studio for like 12 hours a day. It's hard not to be emotionally attached to my brand. So what did I do to solve this horrible, evil problem? I live in Los Angeles, so I went on foot. I put on a backpack and I got a notebook and a pen, and I went on foot to do my research. So I walked from the garment district all the way to the jewelry district in Los Angeles, and I went to every single store and I asked them every single question that I could about supply and manufacturing. I was on a mission to right this wrong. I had nobody to count on except myself and my 2 feet. It really helped me put myself out there and get my confidence back, because once you get scammed to that extent, you kind of lose track of, I don't know, maybe like your own sense of judgment. It really helped me realize that it was a genuine mistake. I couldn't have avoided it. And after that holy trek, I was able to find my new supplier, and from then on, they turned into my manufacturer to help me manufacture some of the components that I use. I, again, spent 5 figures replacing my stock, and yeah, I lost a lot of money. It took some time to recover from that, but we're still here. It didn't put me out of business. I spent a lot of time doing research and development with my new supplier slash manufacturer, and we talked a lot in detail, and I could immediately tell how different they were from my previous supplier because they were super transparent. My current supplier has also been a family-owned business for the last 30 plus years, specifically in the jewelry making business. And they're so sweet. I have such a lovely relationship with them. Whenever I go in for any sort of meeting, they're always like, "Where has our princess been? We missed you." Then we started making plans for me to go with them overseas to visit our factories together, and for me to really be there like front line and to get content about how everything is made, how everything is plated, and like all the special stuff that we do that makes our pieces more durable. Unfortunately, in the very same year, illness struck. Now we're gonna get back to when I said I didn't account for the fact that when you are a business owner, you have to be at peak operation or everything else crumbles around you. Given our numbers, our growth, and our retention, I made the financial decision to go all in and to scale up my business. So I started hiring staff. I had 2 girls with me. I literally had them with me for just a couple of weeks before I quickly realized that something was very, very wrong. If you want to know specifically like how I found out that I was living with endometriosis, I have a video on that already, so you guys can check that out. My health started failing, and I started not being able to make my meetings. I started spending more time bedridden, and to this day, it's a 50-50 chance of whether or not I will spend the entire day bedridden. And sometimes I'm in so much excruciating pain that I can't even use my wheelchair. I'm trying to stay positive, but it has been a huge lifestyle change, and it was really heartbreaking for me. This is the second big heartbreak that I went through when running my business, because this was literally right after I made the decision to invest in my company and to scale it up. And so I had already made the financial investments. I couldn't operate in the same capacity anymore. I couldn't work 12-hour days. I couldn't work 7 days a week. And it just really broke my heart, because although the body isn't willing, like the mind wants to do so much. Like I am such a creative person, and my goal has always been to share that with people, whether it be with content like making YouTube videos, teaching people how to do hair, teaching people how to do makeup, or making designs in my own jewelry. And so literally once I scaled up, in a couple months I had to scale right back down because my new focus in life was getting surgery and staying alive and just trying to stay positive about the whole thing. Where is my business now today after all of this stuff has happened? I still get orders that I'm still hand making by myself as it was in the beginning, so I kind of just went back to how it was originally. But in terms of growing my brand and brand development, I paused all of that. Right now, my main goal is just to stay consistent. Whenever I am physically capable of doing a product launch or a collection launch, I do it. I've been working on this new collection for literally months, since last winter, and every time I try to put on makeup to take product photos of myself wearing my jewelry, I can't. I have to give up, and I have to crawl into my bed and just lay there and suffer and die. There's so much product and material sitting in my house, and it's a daily reminder of what things could have been, but I'm not too pressed about it. I'm kind of at the point where, you know what? It's okay. I still get to do what I really like to do, which is to design and make jewelry. The most important thing is that I started and that I have it. Like, I've always thought of Made as like a little egg. I'm still nestling and nurturing that little egg. I don't know what my life is going to look like from now on because I have a disability, but I'm taking it day by day. And that's totally okay with me. I do feel extremely lucky because running my own brand from home has given me the opportunity to work from home while I'm disabled, and for me to continue to just, I don't know, like have a way to connect with the world. I spend so much time in bed, unable to move. Having a creative job still allows me to be free, but just inside my head. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned in the 3 years that I have run my small business. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you to the sponsor of this video, Omnisend. You are literally paying my medical bills. And I will see you guys again next time. I'm not dead. I'm just semi-alive. Bye.